Have you ever noticed that one person who never posts pictures online? No selfies, no big celebration posts, and absolutely no life updates. In a world that rewards attention and constant visibility, these people almost seem invisible. But if you think that silence means they're insecure or shy, you should think again. Psychology says this behavior isn't random. It actually reveals a lot about their confidence, mindset, and emotional intelligence. They aren't missing, they're mastering. We live in a culture obsessed with showing off. We're taught to market our milestones and wear our lives on our feeds for everyone to see. But the most grounded people are often the ones who stay off the grid. They've outgrown the need to be seen. They don't chase trends and they don't chase people. While everyone else is scrolling, they are decoding their own minds. They've realized that being unseen is actually a form of power. The first thing you need to understand is that these people choose privacy over popularity. Psychologists say people who rarely post tend to have a high privacy orientation. This means they value control over what others see and think about them. Most people seek validation through likes and comments, but these individuals rely on self-validation. They don't need to announce their life to feel good about it. That is a subtle but massive sign of inner security. These people have what research calls strong self-concept clarity. They know who they are, what they value, and what truly matters to them without needing external approval. Because their happiness comes from within, they are less likely to compare themselves to others. Their growth is sacred and private to them. It's not a staged performance for an audience. It's an anchored reality. They validate themselves in private because they aren't here for the applause. Posting less is often linked to secure self-esteem. This is a type of confidence that doesn't need attention to survive. They don't post selfies to prove their worth because they already feel complete. Because of this emotional balance, they are often less anxious and less approval-seeking. They are focused on real-world goals rather than digital illusions. These individuals are often deep thinkers, not show-offs. They are introspective and operate with an internal locus of evaluation. This means they judge themselves by their own standards, not the standards of strangers. They prefer authentic conversations over superficial digital interactions. They think before they speak, and they only post when something genuinely matters. For them, silence is where the real work happens. They are building their lives, their businesses, and their art, while everyone else is busy updating their status. They are lone wolves by choice. This doesn't mean they are antisocial. It means they are energetically discerning. They are wise enough to know what happens when you hand too many people access to your nervous system. By staying low-key, they protect their peace in the same way others protect their image. They understand the digital illusion. They know that social media easily distorts reality through social comparison theory. By opting out of the feed, they protect their mental health from the endless cycle of measuring their worth against someone else's highlight reel. They choose peace over performance. They aren't falling behind. They are often much further ahead because they are doing while other people are posting. Mastery in anything requires undivided attention, and you can't give that attention to your life if you're constantly checking in with strangers. Why does this matter for you? Because you don't need to be loud to be powerful. You don't need to be public to be growing. Privacy is a boundary that makes your presence potent when you actually do decide to be seen. When you stop narrating your life and start living it, you gain clarity and power that the likes can never give you. These people aren't withdrawn. They're wise. They move in silence and share selectively. They speak when it adds value, not when it just adds noise. They've realized that the most important parts of life do not have to be shared to be real. In fact, not sharing them is how they stay joyful. They don't want to turn their joy into a post for recognition. They want to keep it for themselves and the people who actually matter. So the next time you see someone who doesn't post their pictures, don't assume they're missing out. They might just be more grounded, emotionally intelligent, and self-aware than anyone else in the room. They don't need to be seen to feel seen. And that is real confidence. Confidence doesn't need to shout. It walks into a room quietly. And everyone notices anyway. If you want to become someone truly great, you might need to disappear for a while. Stop checking in with the world and start checking in with yourself. If you love understanding the why behind human behavior, hit subscribe, because we don't just scroll through lives here. We decode minds. Disappear, focus, and become great.